Hey, and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to export a vehicle from Blender to Unreal Engine. So we're going to do the prep work on how to enable the blueprint to be able to swap out wheels at real time. So we're going to add a little bit of customization, and then also we're going to add the brake disc and brake calipers so that during gameplay all of this looks fine, and then the calipers be able to follow the wheels when they steer, and then the brake disc follow the car when it's moving. So with that, let's get started. So first, we want to make sure that the brake calipers and the wheels share the same point of origin. It's not so important for the brake disc because the brake disc will just be joined to the wheel, but the caliper will not be joined because it needs to be stationary when the car is moving forward, but only rotate when the car is actually steered. So we don't need to join that. So what we're going to do first is join the brake disc to the wheels. We're going to do this for all of them. Select them and then Control J. Preferably you want to select the brake disc first and then the wheel, because you join the brake disc to the wheel. So just do this for all the wheels. So now with that done, then you want to make sure that you have the body, the wheels, and the calipers. Those are the only selectables you should have. And then before we move on any further, we need to be able to tell the blueprint where to put the wheels, because we're not going to be exporting the mesh as one whole part. We're going to export the body as one part and then the wheels as another part. So when we get into Unreal Engine, we need to then be able to tell the blueprint where to attach the wheels to. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to select the wheel, Shift S, set cursor to selected, and then Shift A, and then we're going to add an empty with empty plane, and then we're going to rename this empty to front left. So this is gonna, when we import it into Unreal Engine, this is going to become a socket, which is going to be the location where the wheels will then be attached. And we need to do this for all the wheels. So once again, select a different wheel and then Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift A, empty, and then plane, and then just rename this one as well. This one is front right. So we're gonna name it like this so that we know what wheels should go. Otherwise, it's not really that important, but I would still recommend that you do this just so you know which sockets to use when you're attaching the wheels. Okay, so now that we have all the planes in their desired locations, we need to then pair all the planes, all the empties, not the planes, the empties. We need to then pair all of them to the body. So with one selected, we're gonna select the body and then Control P, and then Object Keep Transform, and then we're gonna do this for all the other ones as well. And then now with that done, we need to then pair the calipers to the body as well. So select the calipers, select the body, Control P, and then also keep transform. So now with all that set up, we are now done effectively rigging the car. So now we can now remove a set of wheels on either side. We want to select the ones on the right side of the car, and then we're going to delete these. And then to export the wheels from the from Blender into Unreal Engine, what you're gonna need to do is gonna move the cursor back to world origin. So the wheels need to be centered at the world point, because when you attach them to the sockets in Unreal Engine, they're gonna attach at their point of origin. But now if the point of origin in the world is over there and then the wheel is exported from over here, your vehicle wheel will effectively have an offset as effective as the location that it is from the world origin. But that's not what we want, because when you import it, it's going to attach that offset to the socket as well, so which means you're going to have to do a little bit of mathematics in order to get it to be on the socket properly. So to avoid that, we then move the wheels to the world's origin. So we're just gonna select the wheel and then Shift S and then selection to cursor, and do the same for the rear wheels as well. So the wheels are at the world's origin, the vehicle as well, its origin is set to the world's origin, and then the empties and the calipers are parented to the car. So we're just gonna double check and make sure that it is in fact. So as we can see, when you move the body, the empties and the calipers move as well, but the wheels remain where they are, and that's how it should be. So now with that done, we only have one more thing to do. We need to make sure that the scales are fine, but before we do that, we need to make one crucial change before we export. So the change we need to do is head over to the scene over here, and then here on the units. By default, Blender scale is set to 1.0, which is meters, but Unreal uses millimeters, which is what Unreal refers to as Unreal units. So to get a proper scaling from Blender to Unreal, normally we would use the UE4 vehicle add-on, which would then, as you can see here, we have set unit scale, and then we have upscales objects. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set the unit scale. So the unit scale needs to be set to 0.01, which is going to be millimeters. But now as you can see, there's been a little bit of changes here. If you go over to the item, you can see also here that things have changed. It's now, instead of its normal thing, it has now become 0. Which are the actual measurements. So to counteract that, we select everything, and then we're going to scale everything then by 100, which is going to put us back to where we should be. But now also the scale is now up by 100, so we need to then apply the scale, which will be the part over here where we say upscale the units, and then apply the scale. So we need to apply the scale to the body. So Control A, apply scale, and then do the same for the wheels. Control A, apply scale, and then the other one. I'm not sure if I select the other one properly. I need to go into view mode. So Control A, apply scale. So now we see that the scales are properly. The wheels scale of 1, the other wheel scale of 1, and then the body with a scale of 1. We don't need to really be concerned with the empties, but for the sake of being absolutely sure, let's also then just set their scale also to a scale value of 1. So we're going to do this for all of them. This is just to be sure, and then also the calipers. Currently I don't do this. This is just to be sure, to make sure that when we do then import it into Unreal Engine, nothing breaks, and otherwise we'd have to come back into Blender and then redo the entire process. So now with everything done, what we're going to do is we're going to select the body, only the body and all its components. So select the body and everything that accompanies it, and then we're going to go over to File, Export, FBX, and then I'm going to save it here in the tutorial folder. And then if you have an operator preset, I have one for Unreal Engine, and then just say selected objects, and then just head down, make sure forward is in. Oh, I did miss that part. Okay, just close this. So I actually forgot to rotate the vehicle. So I'm just going to head over here by the pivot point, and then just set mine to 3D cursor, and then rotate on the Z-axis 90 degrees. So the reason why I do that is sometimes if you set it, for example, to median point, then what will happen is it will calculate the center of your car, which is not necessarily always the center of the world. Sometimes, depending on how your car is modeled, where you placed it, the center might be off, and then your car, when you export it, it might be a little bit off center. So to make sure that your car is perfectly centered on the x-axis, that's how I do it. Hey, post-recording insert here, a couple of things I forgot to mention while recording the video. First thing is I would advise y'all to rename your calipers as well, because it would make it easier to find when you're setting it up in Unreal Engine. So all your calipers, name them according to the sockets. So this one is FR, so the caliper on this side should be also renamed similar, something like FR caliper. So FR underscore caliper, and then you do this for all the other ones as well, so that they match up with the empty or the would-be socket in Unreal Engine. It will just make it easier to find it when you're looking for it during the setup process. So we're just gonna do that. So now with all the calipers renamed accordingly, another thing I forgot to mention is to also apply your rotation. I forgot to do it, and then while I was doing a test run in Unreal Engine and I set up the vehicle, I got some very interesting results when trying to drive the car. So also remember to apply your rotation as well. So I'm gonna select everything, Control A, apply rotation. Oh, okay, so you see this is a problem that happens if you have any modifiers as well. Then you might want to apply the modifiers before you apply the rotation. So I think I have some on the body. So over here by the modifiers, I have mirror, sub, and smooth. So I'm just going to apply these first. And then now with that done, I don't think I have any more on the wheels or anything. Okay, and then yes, now we're going to apply the rotation. So now with the rotation applied, that should be everything. The calipers have renamed, rotation applied, and the modifiers applied as well. So now we're going to export it. I just skip that little part there. I forgot to rotate the car, but now I'm going to go export FBX in the tutorial, Unreal. Now I forgot to select all of the accompanying body parts for the car. Okay, so now with everything selected, the empties, the calipers, and the body, and then export FBX, tutorial, Unreal, selected objects, forward, X forward, C up, then armature, can't speak today. We're just gonna unclick the add leaf bones, and then just rename this to something else. I'm gonna call this vehicle underscore body, because that's what it is. Then we're gonna export it, and then we're gonna select one of the wheels. Okay, I think this is the front. Yes, the front wheel. It's the thinner of the two wheels. So we're gonna export the front wheel, FBX, and then this is the front wheel, and then okay, everything's fine. Export. I'm going to do the rear wheel, FBX, rear underscore wheel. Okay, so now that is fine. The unit scale is set 2.01. So that is it for this video. The car has been exported, and then in the next video I'm going to be showing you how to import the car, as well as how to set up how to basically set up the car, like a basic setup of the car, because I will be starting over from an empty project instead of from a template. So we're gonna set up the inputs, we're gonna be creating the blueprint and the player controller. So I just want to show that as well. So yeah, that's it for this video, and until the next one.